Is it going to be June 23rd or June 30th that Travis Scott will be dropping his new album, Utopia, or Topia, Dystopia, double album, whatever? We went over this in a bunch of videos. Today, we'll get a breakdown of what speaks for and against those two dates that we are so heavily speculating. So let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and details everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So let's start with June 23rd, because that was the theory that we've had all along. So we're gonna just quickly go over it again because we've heard it 1,000 times, but it's necessary to get everybody caught and up to date. And then we'll look at June 30th and what speaks for that date and which one will be more likely. So let's start with June 23rd. So the first piece of evidence actually speaks for both of them, so, kind of consider it like that. But in an interview with Sylvia Rohn, the new CEO of Epic Records, so the label that Travis is under, that Cactus Jack is under, she was asked, and I think this was in February or March, she was asked, what do you see as Epic's biggest successes of the past year and what can we expect in the coming year? And the first thing that she said was, we have a new Travis Scott record expected to come in June. So this was the first confirmation that we had that this thing was going to be dropping in June, which is pretty cool because up until then, we didn't have any date to put it on. So now we knew it was coming in June. Obviously, that's for both 23rd and 30th, but let's break this down further. Next up, we got the word that Travis was going to be performing in Italy in June, to be exact, at the iDays Festival in Milan on June 30th. And this was pretty big because June 30th is a Friday. That's also why we are considering it as a possible release date. But that also means that up until then, he would have an album, need to have an album out to be performing those songs at the festival. And that would only work if he drops it before the 30th, because I just don't see someone dropping the same day that they're doing a festival, because you want the album to kind of be out there and you promote it everywhere. So that's why I didn't see that happening. So that's why we thought he was gonna have to drop it a week before. Also, when you, for example, go to a Spotify page, you can see that he has a bunch of, festivals and shows coming up in June and July. Also one on the 29th in Sweden. So that was just another reason against it. Why would he, start performing on June 29th and then not have an album out by then or drop it on the 30th? So the 23rd was the best option here. Then likely the most interesting one was the cover of the Dystopia EP that you might remember. We've discussed this so many times, but when you kind of go in there into the nitty-gritty, you can see this headline on the Dystopia cover that says, weekly world truths, and underneath that we can see the issuing date of the magazine, so speaking, and it says June 23rd, 1992. And that June 23rd we thought was also a hint that this was going to be it. But here's the interesting part. At some point over the past weeks, months, he removed this. This is a screenshot right here that I took of the cover on Spotify right before recording this video, and you can see that the date was removed, but nothing else was changed. Everything is unchanged except for that date. So for some reason he removed it, and we thought that he wanted to give us a little hint towards this thing dropping on June 23rd. And then the last big thing that we got for the 23rd was Rolling Loud announcing their next couple of shows with Travis Scott in an Instagram post, and they said next Travis Scott shows, Netherlands, Portugal, Germany, Miami, starting on July 1st, and someone in the comments asked them, and they said, now tell us when the next Travis album is out, and they replied to that person with, isn't it obvious? So kind of insinuating that he was gonna have to drop before July 1st. Obviously, this could be the 30th or also the 23rd, but considering that he's performing at iDays on the 30th, we still thought it was going to be the 23rd. And also something we just have to add is the fact that he said at a recent live show that he was going to be dropping after all other Cactus Jack members had dropped, and we kind of had a rollout plan for how this was going to, turn out. That was not really the reality, but so Faygo was still dropping his EP Plus, and he also did specifically, explicitly say that he was dropping after Faygo, so there might still be some hope for that. So that is the theory that we had for this thing dropping on the 23rd. I think there are some pretty strong arguments in there. Let me know what y'all think about this though. But there is one thing that happened at the beginning of May that really speaks against this that we gotta take a look at. So y'all know Billboard, the Billboard Hot 100, the charts, the people that are counting the streams in the first week and kind of putting together which album, which song sold the best in each given week, month, year, whatever. You all know Billboard. And they at some point changed it so that merch bundles and like packages weren't going to be counted as sales anymore. So that only true album sales, not connected to merch, where you kind of get a digital album with it and it counts as an album sale. That's how people really boosted up their album sales. That's also why so many people are not selling as much over the past year because of that changed rule. And they've now changed it back. And Travis Scott was always one that was pretty heavily, benefiting from this rule because he had merch that sold out really quick, and with each merch, bundle or something, you got a digital copy with the album and it counted as a sale. So that's how he was with Astroworld, basically sold a lot. That was a whole controversy with Nicki Minaj, even though he would have outsold her anyway, but she was complaining, oh, he only outsold me because he had bundles, whatever. So they changed it. They were like, okay, to be fair, we're only counting true streams or true sales, but now they seem to have changed it back. Let's take a look at the change that occurred at the beginning of May. So here we can see that Billboard is changing the rules. Let's just go through this real quick together. Limited combinations of merchandise and physical albums will be counted on Billboard's album charts starting this summer, but with new rules to prevent the issues that led to the elimination of such bundles 3 years ago, as I just explained. The new combinations of merch and albums, dubbed fan packs, as they now call it, will allow fans to support their favorite artists on the charts in a way that research suggests that many would like to. However, the packs will be restricted to just 2 options per album release: a sweatshirt with an LP and a t-shirt with a CD, for example, with the requirement that each individual item must also be sold separately in the same web store. Fan packs will include only merch, no tickets, meet and greet opportunities, virtual items, or non-tangible benefits, and they must also contain a physical copy of an album. Combinations of digital downloads and merch will not count towards the charts. In addition, fan pack offerings must be approved in advance of their on-sale date by Illuminate and Billboard. And here's the interesting part. Let's go through to the bottom real quick, skip this one little paragraph. The new rules allowing fan packs will take effect during the tracking week that runs from June 30th to July 6th, 2023 for charts dated July 15th. So as you can see here, the rules got changed back. They're not as open to maybe abuse as they were 3 years ago. So there's kind of like, you need to have it, like the merch you're selling with the album needs to be also sold separately so that people have to specifically buy the album, and it needs to be physical copies of the album. But still, the interesting part is that this new tracking method of charts of sales starts June 30th, so the day that could also possibly be a release date for Travis. And if you're Travis and you see this news coming out, I mean, you probably knew about this beforehand, insiders in the industry, you're thinking, okay, I could drop a week earlier to kind of go with the festival plan and everything, and then not sell as much, or drop a week later and put up some crazy numbers. And that's the main reason speaking against the 23rd. That is why also a lot of people are now thinking it could be the 30th, because that way Travis would be selling more and be guaranteed to be at #1 for a longer period of time, outselling everybody that could also potentially be dropping the same day. That is the reason why the 23rd might not happen, even though I do think that a lot of evidence speaks for the 23rd. It's going to be very interesting to see which date it will be. Those are the two dates that are the main topic of discussion right now. Let me know what y'all think about this though. Do you think it'll be the 23rd or the 30th, and which argument is the most compelling for you? All of your thoughts and your theories on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.